No, listening very intently. You got a Tucker Carlson face going on there. Anyway, it's just, it's not fast enough. Whatever the shift is in public discourse, it's not fast enough. And, it feels hopeless in some ways.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, I don't even remember if I mentioned this yesterday, but I was in Israel. I think it was in 1980, and was taking went with my Hebrew school, and everyone. I think I can't remember if it was like a confirmation class trip or something like that. We were there for like 2 months, and we were in Caesarea near the coast and saw attack helicopters going up to attack Lebanon. And I remember then it was incredibly disturbing. I ended up getting into a big fight with my rabbi, actually, and permanently ruining my relationship with him.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, I was upset. It was, very inconsistent with the way the attack on Lebanon was inconsistent in the way that I had come to understand Israel. And I think, the things were changing at that time. I don't know if, they were dramatically different before then, but at least in terms of like, my awareness as whatever it was, 14-year-old or 13-year-old, I don't know how old I was at that time, 15-year-old, 14-year-old. And, it was, incredibly upsetting. And over the course of the next 50 years, I guess that would, 40 years, the conversation, the Israelis have become more and more, brutal, and the power disparity and the conversations, I mean, at least maybe in the last 20 years. Cause I'm trying to think of like how engaged I was, during those years into these, but the conversations are changing. I mean, it is quite clear that there is a shift, and it is a very slow one. But again, at one point, someone sent me a clip on Twitter, Joe Biden talking about South Africa and apartheid. And at one point,
was that when he was arrested there? Or?
No, I mean, yeah, he apparently exaggerated, but he was speaking quite forcefully in the Senate. Actually, it was impressive. And he was, it was, I'm sure there was a certain political expediency about it because he was contemplating a run for president in 1988. And this is Reagan's policy of constructive engagement, they called it. And I can't help but think that we are getting closer to that point. And so we shall see. And I think in part maybe Trump's setting up that dichotomy that where Jeremy was talking about Biden undoing some of the really heinous stuff that Trump did. It also has changed the way that there's so many other factors as well, simultaneous things, but that there is just a more jaundiced eye towards Israel and their practices. And I think we are getting closer to that point of inflection where you have a major party who are going to say, we're no longer going to support this financially. And then I think then it creates a very different dynamic. But
and like Netanyahu's been giving them every reason to say that. I feel like within my living memory, like the visit to the House where he's just like, let's just talk to the Republicans. Like,
yep,
come on, Democrats. Like,
well, I mean, supposedly that according to our guest to Nora Arakat yesterday, that Biden's quite does not like Netanyahu, but there is.
I mean, what's to like? He's
right.
a right-wing lunatic.
No, I understand, but my point is that like this is. How
many times are they going to punch like the United States in the face and then say, "Keep giving us money"? I mean, like from a purely just pride perspective.
Well, but I mean, I don't think that Joe Biden is working on a question of pride. I mean, I think
American exceptionalism is certainly a question of pride, and that is where he seems to get a lot of his, perspective from. I'm trying to speak his language.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really is just going to come down to like, when popular sentiment overwhelms the lobbying and the donations from a narrow group of people. And I think it's becoming less and less tenable for Democrats to hold this position. And when that dam breaks, the dam breaks. But we shall see. Let's head into the fun half. Just a reminder, it's your support that makes this show possible. When you guys become a member of the show, it gives us a lot of flexibility. I don't want to make too big of a deal of this, but like we dropped at the very least, I don't know if we dropped or they're going to drop us now. We have basically said, one of my favorite companies, frankly. I'm not going to, one that we has as a sponsor, basically had to tell them the other day it came up that they were, they've been called out by BDS. I guess this happened over a year ago. I wasn't aware of it. I think it happened right before the COVID. And my understanding is that we're still looking into it, but we put it on pause for the time being. The sponsor that is doing business in the West Bank or has a partner, a production partner in the West Bank. And it's unfortunate, but I was like, I can't advertise for you anymore. One of the ways that we got change in South Africa was part of a divestiture movement. I mean, that's when I was in college. I remember as student government president giving a speech to the board of trustees about divesting from South Africa. And it was very contentious, but we ended up doing it as a college. I don't know how much of a difference it makes one college does that, but it caused the chairman of Pfizer to retire from the board of directors at the school.
Hey.
Got into a little bit of an argument with him, but that's another story. But the point is that our members allow us to be able to say, like, this, we don't like this sponsor, we don't like that sponsor, or we want to send a message to even a sponsor that I like. Like, hey man, as much as I like your product and appreciate the support, like this, you guys gotta take account for what's going on. And so, but it's our members that allow us to do that. So, if you're one of those people who have not been, had, financial issues, during this whole time and you're doing okay, supporting the show, good time to do so. Join themajorityreport.com. Also, don't forget justcoffee.coop, fair trade coffee, tea, and chocolate. Use the coupon code majority, get 10% off. Never have to worry about the business practices of those guys. And check out the AM Quickie, amquickie.com, headline news in the morning, all free. You can find that at amquickie.com. Matt, what's happening in the Matt Leckian universe of media?
Last night there was a return to the Literary Hangover Twitch feed last night.
Whoa!
Because I bought the new Resident Evil Village game. I didn't play it for very long before shifting to Destroy All Humans, the remake of the Martian game, and then I also played a little bit of Rocket League. But for 3 hours, I streamed at 1080p with 5,000 kilobytes a second and did not drop a single frame.
Fiber.
That's the real success of last night. So go subscribe, people on Twitch, to the Literary Hangover feed. We'll be doing more of that in the future.
Nice. Check out Nomi's show. Not sure who's on today, but always an interesting conversation. The Nomi Key Show at youtube.com/The Nomi Key Show. All right. 646-257-3920. We will take some phone calls. In fact, I'm going to now call in.
Beep boop.
There you go. Beep,
I
beep,
did
beep.
it right at the right time.
You did. All right. We'll see you in the fun half.
In for it.
All right, folks. 646-257-3920. See you in the fun half.
Are you ready?
Who sent us this?
Alpha males are back, boys back, and the alpha males are back.
Just as delicious as you can imagine.
The alpha males are back, boys back, and the alpha males are back.
Just want to degrade the white man.
Alpha males are back.
I take all of it in my throat.
Alpha males are back.
Says what?
The alpha males are back.
You are a madman.
And the alpha males are back.
I am a total cunt. Can we bring back DJ Dannerky's song, please?
Yeah, or a couple of them. Just put them in rotation.
DJ Dannerky.
Well, the problem with those is they're like 45 seconds long, so I don't know if they're enough of a break for people.
That's fucking nonsense.
Hey, folks. Reminder.
I do not have Parkinson's.
And the alpha males are
Psych. Fuck them. What?
All lives matter. Have you tried doing an impression on a college campus?
I think that there's no reason why reasonable people across the divide can't all agree with this. Psych.
the alpha males are back. And the Africans are black. African, the alpha males are back. And the Africans are black.
See Donald Trump out there, doesn't a little part of you think that America deserves to be taken over by jihadists? Keeping it 100. Can't knock the hustle. Come on! Fuck them. Things I do for the bigger game plan. By the way, it's my birthday! Happy birthday to me, Jew boy! I have a thought experiment for you.
And the alpha males are back. Africans are black. Alpha males are back. Africans are black.
Come on! What? Come on! Someone needs to pay the price for blasphemy around here. I am a total pussy.